Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you on my lunch. Enjoying the outside here in Sacramento, California. It's a good hot day. Sorry if my receipt just flew in front of your face there for you, but thought I would complete the circle talking about all of the announced, well, I guess even the unannounced, because I do have a video up against about Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, which I guess is going to be added sooner than later to the Battleground card. But I noticed over at WWE.com on the Battleground site that they had added Chris Jericho against Bray Wyatt, already making it a scheduled match. And I know that a lot of people were hoping that they were going to make it Chris Jericho against The Miz, sort of pushing back and having a bigger an effect and a bigger feel to Bray Wyatt versus Chris Jericho happening maybe at SummerSlam. But it looks like The Miz is going to have to go in another direction. You can hope that The Miz is going to be able to find himself and find some sort of a feud before the pay-per-view, or even get him set up for a bigger match at SummerSlam, because he is a guy that I do wish to have a good comeback and build towards a brighter future. I do think he is one of the guys that is the future of the WWE, and I would hate to see him sort of get his run for WrestleMania 27 and never really reach those heights once again. For this match, I have questions about why they're doing Bray Wyatt against Chris Jericho. You go back to Jericho last year, before he left, he did an NXT taping having a match against Bray Wyatt, and that match was openly panned by a lot of people as not being, that good. I've seen very few reviews giving that match thumbs up. It just sort of was just flat. I don't know if it just they didn't connect, or if they just didn't plan out what they wanted to do well before they got out there. But to me, it just was sort of like a clusterfuck, sort of just cut and dry wrestling match, nothing really added to it. Chris Jericho coming back to wrestling has been a pretty big story, the way they kept it quiet, and he is a guy that sort of like added to the card, sort of gives it a big feel of those days back in the day when we used to really love it. One of the reasons why they let Rob Van Dam come back a few times every year, just to give the shows a little bit of a spark. But you can even look at Rob Van Dam and what they're doing. They put him out there. They treat him like it's a big deal, living off his ECW days, or maybe even his WWE days back in 2001 through 2005ish, when he was with the company, and he won the Intercontinental Championship a lot. He had the one run with the ECW Championship and the WWE title before he got caught smoking pot with Sabu driving down the road. But to me, honestly, Jericho, he must just, he says he loves wrestling on his podcast. He says he loves wrestling, and that's why he comes back. I just don't really see why he would want to come back for a few months. I don't want to say it's all about the money, but it's got to be a little bit of it, because he's got to know he's not going to be in any high-featured matches. He's not going to be winning the WWE Championship. He's probably not even going to win that many matches. He's probably not even going to win this match at Battleground. You got to think that why would he want to come back? Is WWE just using Chris Jericho in order to maybe give Bray Wyatt a win over somebody who they would call a former champion, with Jericho a former world heavyweight champion back in the day, as well as a WWE, I don't know, to call him a WWE or a WWF champion, whatever it is. It's still the same title somewhere along the way. Is Bray Wyatt beating Chris Jericho at Battleground going to be big enough, to make you, forget about the John Cena feuds with the WrestleMania match that everybody thought that was so easy? Have Bray Wyatt win this match in order to make Bray Wyatt a bigger star in the long run, even if you have John Cena beat Bray Wyatt, in the next 3 pay-per-views in a row. When WrestleMania rolls around, or when, we're 5 years down the road looking at how big of a star Bray Wyatt is, you're always going to remember that Bray Wyatt beat John Cena at WrestleMania. One of those things that just doesn't really happen that often. John Cena has lost WrestleMania matches, but it's few and far in between. It's the biggest moment that everyone remembers. Nobody's really going to remember the matches that are on TV. Nobody's ever really going to remember Extreme Rules with Bray getting the win in the steel cage match. It's just not a match that people are going to remember. So is this match going to be enough high-profile thing to maybe get Bray back to jump on tracks, pushing down the road? Is a lot of people think he's going to be a star for WWE, really big in the future. Whether it's him, taking a turn and going on the babyface run, or him sort of staying heel. To me, I think that Bray Wyatt always delivers a good promo, but to me, maybe the promos are just a little bit long. I don't really understand why Bray Wyatt has a problem with Chris Jericho. I don't know why these two are fighting. I don't really know why Bray Wyatt and John Cena had their beef as long as they did. It sounds good when Bray Wyatt yells out, "Save us, Chris Jericho." But I don't really understand if he really thinks that Chris Jericho thinks he's an idol, much like John Cena did, and he's just trying to tear him down. But that's going to be the match. Honestly, bet all the money in your farm on Bray Wyatt because he's going to be winning this match at Battleground.